Hi, welcome to my fourth video in my Beginning Minesweeper strategy series. In this one, we're going to do a couple more what I'm calling second order pattern recognition exercises. And second order patterns are just ones where you need to look at more than one square to analyze what's going on. So we're going to go over a 1-4 pattern, a 1-3-1 corner pattern, and holes in walls. That last one comes up a lot, so you're going to want to know that one. First off, though, let's start with the 1-4 pattern. This one is very simple. When you have a 1 next to a 4, that's all you need. That's the whole pattern, 1 and a 4. Then the 3 squares that are opposite the 1 that the 4 is touching, so these 3, they're all mines every single time. And then all 3 of these are not mines. In this situation, obviously, these 2 are already uncovered, so we know they're not mines, but if they were still covered, we would know that they aren't mines, and here we obviously know that that one is not a mine, so we can go ahead and uncover it. This works even if the 1 and the 4 are the only squares you have uncovered. So if you just have a 1 and a 4, and then all covered tiles all around you, you can mark these 3 as mines, and you can uncover this one, and this one, the 3 opposite the 1. So when you have a 1-4, the 3 under the 4 are 3 squares under the 4 are all mines, and the 3 squares above the 1 are all mines. Obviously, when I say above, it works just as well if you rotate it 90 degrees or 180 degrees. So that's the rule. That's the pattern. Why is that? It comes down to just another one of those counting exercises. This 4 has obviously 8 squares around it, but it's touching a 1 in one of those squares, and that 1 can only be touching 1 mine, obviously. So of these 1, 2, 3, 4 squares around the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, of those 4, only 1 can be a mine, at most. And it turns out has to be one of those. And so if only one of these 4 can be a mine, and this one's uncovered, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares around the 4 that we know about, and all of them combined contain 1 mine because of this 1. So if these 5 squares altogether contain 1 mine, and the 4 is touching 8 mines, then these last 3 have to all be mines so that the 4 is touching 4 mines. Again, this 4 will be touching 1 mine among these 4 here, and then these 3 down below all have to be mines. Then similarly, the logic works the other direction. One of these or one of these will be a mine, and so this 1 is touching 1 here or 1 here, and so none of these above it that it's touching can be mines. So the 1-4 pattern is kind of really simple. Anytime you see a 1 touching a 4, not diagonally, sorry, that doesn't work, but a 1 and a 4 next to each other in a cardinal direction, then the 3 that are opposite the 1 under the 4 are all mines, and the 3 that are above the 1 opposite the 4 are not mines, and you can clear them right away. All right, now we have the 1-3-1 in a corner pattern. Hopefully you've already noticed that there's some 1s on corners, and those are obviously going to be mines. But for now, we're going to focus on the 1-3-1 here. In this pattern, it turns out that that one is a mine, and this one are not mines. That seems kind of weird, I think, just looking at it. You got a 3 in a corner, and it's touching 5 squares that are covered, and how the heck do you know that? Well, it turns out that you just apply some logic, and obviously when you think about it, it becomes easy, but the goal is to just see it and remember that one's a mine, that one's not, and that one's not. So it works because this 1 here is touching 1 mine among all of these 3. It turns out that it couldn't be that one, because then neither of these would be mines, since that 1 is already touching 1. None of those could be mines. And that means You kind of have to imagine it here. I'm not going to click one because one of them's a mine, but you have to imagine then that this would be a little wall here. And as we discussed, the 3 along a wall, immediately you would know all of those are mines. But wait, this one would then be touching 2 mines. So you know that this one can't be a mine, because if it were, it would lead to an impossible situation. So it's not that one. That means that one of these 2 is a mine. And real quick, that means obviously that that one isn't. So you can go ahead and uncover that one. Now, if one of these is a mine, and you use the same logic, going the same direction here, if this were a mine, then all 3 of these would be mines, and again you got a 1 touching 2. So you know that, again, the 1 here is touching a mine in one of these 2 and not that one. Then you can clear that one, and then you can mark this one as a mine, because this one is touching 1 here, as we established, no more no less. This one is touching 1 here, no more no less. So this 3 is touching 1 among these 2, we don't know which yet, and 1 among these 2. Again, don't know which yet, but there's 1 there. 1 plus 1 is 2, this one's touching 3, and it's only got 1 covered square left that it's touching, so that last one must be the 3rd mine that this 3 is touching. So there you go. That 1, 3, 1 in a corner pattern comes up a lot. When you see it, you can just immediately say the one in the very corner is a mine, and the ones just past the one in the wall here are not mines. So that one and that one are not mines. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about is what are called holes. We happen to get one here, so I'll just go straight into it. This 2 is only touching 2 mines, so you can obviously mark them. And then you look at this 2 and you say, oh yeah, that one's already touching 2. So none of these 3 covered squares can be a mine, because if any of them were, then this 2 would be touching that one, and some 3rd one up here, and 2s can't do that. So if you see a 2 straddling a hole here in a wall, remember this is the thing we're calling a wall, and there's this hole, and there's a 2 outside of it, you can immediately just know, it's kind of like 2 1s on corners almost. You can just immediately know that both of those are going to be mines. Now, if this is a 2 inside the hole, as it is here, then you can also immediately know that this one, and this one won't be mines anymore. So you can just unclick all of them. So the hole pattern here is, you see a 2 straddling a hole, mark both of those, and if the number in the hole matches that 2, then none of the ones beyond that 2 inside the wall can be mines either, so you can clear them. Okay, and here's the last hole pattern that I'm going to go over. As you might remember, when you have a 1 and a 1 along a wall and up against the edge of the board, then that 3rd one inside the wall can't be a mine. So I went ahead and uncovered that one because of our 1, 1 rule. Now you have a 1 straddling a hole here, and unlike with the 2, you obviously don't know which of these 2 covered squares is the 1 mine that this is touching, but one of them must be. So that means this 1, again, is touching that same mine, whether it's here or here. So just like with the matching 2s in a hole, where you had a 2 straddling the hole and a 2 inside the hole, here you have a 1 outside the hole, 1 inside the hole. Same logic applies, that this one, and this one all cannot be mines. So you can go ahead and clear them. And that doesn't actually tell us yet still which of these 2 is a mine. We're going to have to keep working and hopefully not have to guess, but we were able to clear all 3 of these. So the whole pattern is the same, where if you see a 1 and there's a 1 inside, clear all of them. If you see a 2 outside and a 2 inside, clear all of those. And with the 2s, you can mark these 2 as mines as well. But if they're matching a 1 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2, then you know you can clear all of these. Hopefully that makes sense. That is the last of this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I think the next one will be me playing a beginner game, maybe 2, and hopefully showing how these rules all work in practice. Till then, good luck.